Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and it seems I forgot how to fucking stream. So I will start that again. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed still a thing. Can I get a wee audio check in the chat, please? And we'll say a couple of hellos. First person in, Mr. Paka, who shouldn't now be coming up as a Paka moderator, because I like to send you secret people. The numbers are increasing, so I thought it might be an idea to help out the moderators by creating a couple more, so there actually is people in all the time. So I've made up Paka and I've made up Anglo-Saxon, based very simply on their two really decent spots, and they're regularly here. I will be totally honest with you. I have no intentions of making up a whole load of moderators. As the channel grows, as the size of the chat increases, I will put in more moderators. What I will say to you two lads, your job's not to block and delete comments all the time. Things need to be very egregious before we decide to fuck people out. But just keep an eye on things. And if we get spammers persistently spamming the same fucking thing, robots and shit, nuke the M4's place. But that's where we're at with the moderators. Peter Benton, what about you, chum? Wayne Abel, what about you? Glad to have you aboard. Hashtag Sam, what about you, chum? My Saxon brother Anglo, what about you? Dennis and Manus is in. Yep, that's Wayne Abel again. Loud and clear, thank you very much. Amanda Lee's in. Sansom's not here. What about you, chum? I got your message earlier on. I never got a chance to reply. But sorry. And YouTube's just sent me a message and interrupted me to tell me that I'm live, as if I hadn't noticed. I don't suck at life at all. Janice is also not here. Very good. Paka, Amanda Lee. Bass is in. What about you, chum? Sheila's ... Special K's on the acid. The Budgie Burger's in. All good. There we go. Right. We'll try and do this in some form of a chronological order. Start off with the housekeeping. Normally a good place to start. Yes, we will start off with housekeeping. We'll do that first. I nearly found an excuse to play a little bit of band music, but we'll do that at the end of the housekeeping. And as you'll have noticed, I like a little bit of band music. So, where are we? Sansom's message. Sansom was on with Bonnie Lad earlier, which I totally missed. I might watch somewhere along catch up. But a very warm welcome to anybody who has came along from Bonnie Lad's stream with Sansom. if you like my stuff, you're probably going to like theirs as well. So it's an idea to keep an eye on what they're doing before me on a Saturday evening, because it sets up your whole evening. There you go. You've got me now. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., Rags and Jack London are having That's Life, but what as we know it. Scottish boyo, very interesting. So that should be good for you. And then at 8:30, it's the weekend stream on Sansom's channel, and he's got Toffee, Resisting the Lies, and That's Life, but not as we know it on again. So if you want a load of Scottish stuff, that's going to be your place, because you're getting a lot of That's Life, but not as we know it. He's going to be streaming from like 7 p.m. As a guest, so that's all good. On Fridays, or John Davison on Tuesday and Fridays, generally at 9 o'clock, depending on how John's feeling. John does have health issues, streams whenever he can, doesn't whenever he can't. Good show, something for you to dip into. The other two streams I like to give a shout out to. One is Courage is a Cure. Girl called Robin from Australia. You'll get kept abreast with all the woke madness that's going on across the world from that stream. Sometimes she drops in here. And the other one is possibly lurking Mr. David Wafflehouse. Does a show every weeknight, 8:30. If you want to get away from politics and serious shit and all of that, that's the place to do it. Streams for about an hour and a half. General banter, interaction with chat, and he's also taken to restreaming live events, protests, and stuff on his Dave Empire show. So there's a shout out for that. And that would be all the housekeeping. John Corner, what about you, chum? Glad to have you aboard. And Arms has jumped in. Sam G, Tricky Woo, and Mummy Salami. Waffles away, and there's Dave's Waffle House. And Martin W with currently with a rat. I absolutely love the way Martin W changes the appendix at the end of his name. Always get a chuckle. He's currently on a rat. No finger along with that rat, but yeah, it's a good effort. So, and there's Rob D's in, and One Plane. What about you? Glad to have you aboard. Lovely. We're filling up here rightly. We have now got 28 people in here. And the other one that I want to give a shout out to, actually this is quite important because the government have asked me to promote this for them. So I'm going to share the screen, honestly. Healthy Start eligibility for families who cannot access public funds. The government seek views on whether eligibility for Healthy Start should be extended to include others who are prevented from accessing public funds due to immigration controls. Let me interpret that for you. Interpret's not the right word. What do you call it whenever you translate? Let me translate that into normal people's language. The government are wanting to give more funds to immigrants. They're currently not allowed to do it because they're immigrants, and they want to move those controls away in order that they can do that. And they're asking for your opinion on it. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to get the responses to all the documents. They're going to have a look at them, and they have to publish them. They have to publish them honestly. And if it's the normal 10 people that are in favor for it and 2 people that are against it, and most of those are NGOs, that's a win for them, particularly whenever we've currently got a lot of protests about immigration going on. However, if they get a couple of thousand people saying, actually, no more new services, that is going to irk the government a lot more than all of the protests. Because I can guarantee you, one interesting thing living in Belfast, because I'm old enough and I was there for the. I'm going to drop this down again. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you want to get involved, why is that not coming up like a link? One momento. Let's see, how does this work? Ha! Seems that link is a bit long for the chat. Is where we're at. Give me one momento. I will get a link that will fit in that chat. There is one in the description. Fuck. Yeah. Has anyone seen Paige? Paige not found? Yeah. Hold on. We're working on it now. Give me one momento. Gonna have to get the same link from a different part of it. Immigration document type, consultation, open, healthy start. StreamYard. Hello, Blue Bar. What about you, chum? Glad to have you aboard. Now, let's see. Does this work? And I'm going to test it. Battle test the link. That does. Bump. That link works. So if you would like to tell your government that, no, you don't think we need any more new services for migrants, that's the link to use. Everybody doing well so far. Blue Bar. Yep, Sam J, thank you. Oh fuck! I now have a spanner, could go full cure at any moment. Oh fuck! Yeah, go for it, mate. Robert Ingram, what about you, Sean? Right. Let's see what else we have. We have other news. We actually have important show news. Because yes, we got ourselves some new equipment. I've been thinking about this for a while, and eventually I got round to getting a GoPro, because yeah, I did the live streams of the 12th of July and whatnot, and the sound quality was absolutely shit. I believe probably the problem was StreamYard, but I was, let's say, very not happy with the sound. So I got a GoPro and did a very little bit of a live stream this morning. I'm going to play a little bit of that because we're talking about the Siege of Londonderry, and Is Carol here? Is it safe to chat? Oh fuck. Yep, tools are useful. Yep. So this is the apprentice boys of Derry Lodge leaving East Belfast this morning at 9 a.m. to go get on a bus and then go to the parade in Londonderry. I'm going to play a little bit of that so you can see how morning starts. I'll show that up and actually. Right. Here we go. Right. Got a whole new system going on here. We're now working with a GoPro. And it's actually working this morning. What we're seeing here today is Apprentice Boys of Derry leaving East Belfast. We're going to head to Londonderry for a parade. And if you want to know all about the Relief of Londonderry, it's a bit of a shit one. About 3 minutes ago, just going to have a little look along Thorndike Street at the murals because why the hell not? Since we're here anyway. It's quite heavily, traditionally mural street. And I do intend to, at some stage, do a proper full like mural street on Newtonards Road. But just like to have a little bit of a look about here. Got plain place with Annie. Right, I'm dropping that out there. So next Saturday, I'm going to take the yes hashtag. It is quite clean. Where we're at. Yes, Robert. Second Saturday in August is when we have our Relief of Derry parades. So that's why they were in there. Next Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, I'm going to go down to Newtonards Road. I'm going to go down to Newtonards Road and do like a walking tour of the murals on Newtonards Road. So hopefully I'll be interested. I'm going to do that next Saturday morning. Now that I've got the equipment to do it, and also it's quite handy because Emma and I have got a family event to go to next Saturday evening, so I will not be streaming. So that's going to be in the morning. There we go. Carson Star would be named after Lord Carson, who was the first Prime Minister of Northern Ireland, raised the 36th Ulster Division, and saved our country. So there's that. So that was East Belfast, Tampmore Avenue. So the three marching orders that we have in Northern Ireland are the Apprentice Boys of Derry, the Royal Black Preceptory, and the Orange Order. And I give you those in reverse order of their size. However, whenever the Apprentice Boys do go out to parade, they don't really do district parades. They just parade in Londonderry. Everybody goes there, and it's a really good large parade. But that was them leaving East Belfast at 9 o'clock this morning. And I think what we will look at now, I think we're going to talk about the Siege of Derry. And we'll start off by putting it into why thank you, Sheila. Really see it next Saturday because those murals are like old school ones. And on Newton Arch Road, there's a mixture of old school and new type murals. It is. I live in the best. I live in the best open art gallery in the world. I've been to Berlin. I've seen their wall. I've seen their fucking. I've seen their so-called fucking art gallery. Doesn't bear fucking. It's not even close. And that was exactly Thorndike Street, which is off Tapmore Avenue. Right. So let us put the Siege of Londonderry into its proper place. And we'll get. Why is my English? Right, hold on. We'll get a bit of a timeline up. If I can find it first. Right. Share screen. Window. Right, to put this into perspective and put it in its historical context, England were going to go from the War of the Roses, which was 1455, 1453, or 1485. We've got the Peasants' Revolt. You've got the English Civil War, which ended in 1651. Then we had a couple of kings. Then the Parliament invited William over to take the crown because King James that was coming in was going to be a dick and bypass Parliament, take away people's rights. They didn't like that. Whenever James heard that William was coming, he fucked off to France. William took the crown in 1688, and we're now coming into 1689, just past the Glorious Revolution. James is fucked off to France. Then, after William's been crowned, James decides to come back to England, back to Ireland, and he's making his way, gathering an army, coming up through Ireland, and he hits Londonderry. The people in Londonderry at the time what religion was Dick? Dick would be Richard. The Richards I'm not big on for knowing what religion they were. Actually, I don't even know if Richards came before or after Henry, because before Henry there only was Christianity. Before Henry in England, the church choice that you had was Roman Catholic. Henry brought in the Church of England, which gave you the option. Turned out that every time the Catholics got there was a Catholic king in place, he took to burning Protestants at the stake because he didn't like what they said, and we didn't like that, so we brought in William, and this the Siege of Londonderry, which then leads on to the Battle of Boyne, is why we have the Glorious Revolution, which was supposedly bloodless, and it was bloodless in England, but it was bloodless in England because we fought the wars over it in Ireland, and that's what these events are about. We want to take that down, and we will get into the first bit of content about it, I think. And we will look at the Siege of Derry. And, right, yep. Go to page, we've got that up. StreamYard, present, share. Siege of Derry. Up we go. Packer, any Neil, any not. Oh, right. That's large enough to read. This is from Ulster Genealogy and Local History blog. Siege of Derry, Londonderry. The walls of Derry were completed in 1619, 8 metres high, 9 metres wide, and 1.5 kilometres in circumference. So if you think about 1.5 kilometres, it's a small city. Right? We're talking about a small plot of land. By the time of the siege, the population inside the walls were estimated to be 2,500 people. 4 gates allowed access to traffic going in and out of the city. The Foy River came up close to the walls on the water side and was an effective barrier from attack. The Siege of Derry was the first major event in the Williamite Wars of Ireland. So King James is buggered off. William's busy being king. King James is coming back. And then William's going to have to put him back off the land because he's running about being a pretend king. The gates of Derry were initially closed in December 1888 by 13 apprentice boys who seized the keys and locked the gates upon the approach of the Earl of Antrim's forces. So these are 13 young men. Nobody's 100% sure who's supposed to be a king, and they made a decision. And their decision was, we're going with King William, this city's going with King William, and you and your army can fuck right off. It is estimated during the siege, the population inside the walls swelled to over 30,000 people. Over 7,000 of these were troops and the rest civilians who had fled to safety of the walled city. Now, one thing that does bear thinking about here is this is happening in 1688. 1641, 40 years ago, well within living memory, there was an event called the Massacre of the Protestants, whereby in Ireland, the Catholics turned up at their Protestant neighbours' houses and took all their possessions, took their clothes, and threw them outside naked. They found out that those people were likely to come back a little bit angry, and therefore, instead of just sending them out in the wilderness, they started pushing them into rivers and lakes and murdering them. The waters of Loch Garn turned red with the blood of Protestants, not discriminated between male, female, adult, or child. So these people would have a really good reason whenever they think that there's an army coming to get the fuck out of the way. And they all went inside Derry because it was a walled city. And it was Derry at that time, by the way. Londonderry came later as a royal charter due to the siege. So these people would be quite right to think we need to get out of the way. The Jacobite force was estimated at some 15,000 and were confident of success, so we're not expecting a siege. On the 18th of April, King James and his forces rode to within 300 yards of Bishopsgate and demanded the surrender of the city. He was rebuffed with shouts of no surrender, and some of the city's defenders fired on him. James returned to Dublin and left his forces under the command of Richard Hamilton, and the Siege of Derry had begun. The siege lasted for 105 days. That's 105 days, no food in, no ammunition in, no water in, drinking water anyway. and yet they persisted. And with that, I'm going to have a quick look at the chat. Well, I'm no Catholic, you know that much. So what's left? Uh, Protestantism, mate. Yep, Protestantism. Uh, the the reason why we had a Reformation and went away from Roman Catholicism to the Church of England, which is Protestant Catholic, wasn't so much to do with the refusal of the Pope to grant Henry VIII a divorce. That was the last straw. It was the changing of the laws and making things sins in order to manipulate kings that the Vatican was playing at that caused us to jump ship. And I, for one, would say it was a very good decision. The Jacobite forces erected a boom consisting of a cable and logs bound together across the River Foyle to prevent food supplies from getting into the city. As a result, conditions within the walls deteriorated very quickly, hence the desire of the Governor Lundy to negotiate favourable terms of surrender. His increasing unpopularity within the walls led to him fleeing to Scotland in ignominy. The 1641 rebellion had a huge impact on the Protestant settler psyche and methodology. The defenders of 1689 feared that if they surrendered, that massacre would ensue as it had done in the previous generation. Derry was of strategic importance in the Williamite Wars. Ireland had fallen, and only Enniskillen and Derry stood firm. That is not true. See, the thing about it is, in order to get into the rest of Ulster and Northern Ireland, he had to get past Enniskillen and Derry, and he couldn't do that. And if he had have, he would have found a whole fucking country of people ready to fight him. And also if only Enniskillen and Derry fell, I'd love to know how William managed to land the Carrickfergus, but there we go. The Jacobite forces at Derry were poorly trained, poorly led, poorly equipped, primarily with muskets and pikes, armed only with light cannon, with shot of 10 to 12 pound and a range of 600 yards. Their artillery was incapable of breaching Derry's walls. The cannon located at Strong's Orchard could reach beyond the walls and terrify the inhabitants of the city, landing on buildings and setting them on fire. One soldier was killed walking up Ship Quay Street by a stray shell. According to Governor Walker, some 800 mortar bombs fell in the city during the siege. One cannot overestimate the psychological impact that artillery fire had upon the people within the walls. And this is yet again another example in Ireland of Irish and indiscriminate murder. But I digress. The defenders were equipped with about 20 artillery pieces, which had been supplied by the London companies, including one called Roaring Meg, which was a gift from the fishmongers of London. Good old fishmongers of London giving us cannon. I love it. The defenders also resorted to occasional attacks and skirmishes, such as Penningsburn, to discourage the Jacobites. Led from the spire of St. Crumb's Cathedral. Lead from the spire of St. Crumb's Cathedral was used to make bullets. The erection of a boom proved to be a success in cutting off supplies to the city. The Jacobites almost succeeded in starving the Derry garrison into surrender, but the spirit and resolve of the Protestant defenders was quite extraordinary. One wonders where we get our stubborn streak from. The conditions that they endured within the walls during 105 days were horrendous. It must also be remembered that the Jacobite forces often went hungry too. Many died of diseases, and they had inadequate shelter from the wet conditions. Maybe should have built themselves a wee hut. The erection of the boom at the end of May prevented Kyle's fleet from providing relief to the city in mid-June, but provided a psychological boost to the defenders as the ships were visible from the higher parts of the city, even though some 12 miles distant. At such distance, communication between the garrison and the fleet was virtually impossible. Although a man named Roach attempted to swim up the foyle to reach the fleet, but was shot by a Jacobite soldier. Remarkably, he survived and was rescued. Another heroic attempt was made by a man only known as McGimsky. Carrying 3 letters from Walker wrapped in a pig's bladder tied around his neck, he swam up the foyle on the night of the 26th of June, but drowned during the night. His body was recovered by the Jacobites, who strung up his body on gallows in front of Derry's walls. The letters revealed that the Derry garrison had only enough supplies to last another week. Encouraged by this, the Jacobites resorted to psychological warfare. At the start of June, Marshal D. Rosen rounded up Protestants from the surrounding countryside, stripped them naked and hungry, and brought them to Butcher's Gate and demanded that they be led into the city or they would be killed. The garrison held firm and threatened to kill the Jacobite prisoners behind the walls unless the non-combatants were allowed to go home. Hamilton objected to Roseland's tactics and the orders were countermanded. Oh my God. Do we have a fucking recurring habit? Yeah, just get some civilians, strip them naked, and threaten to kill them. Lovely actions. Wonder why we don't get on. Governor Walker kept a diary that gave some insight into the suffering of those within the walls. Conditions were cramped and there was little comfort. Lack of food, lack of water remained a constant threat, and supplies ran short. Lanes and streets ran with human waste and urine, leading to the spread of disease such as typhus, because they would normally have took their shit out of the city. On the 100th day of the siege, Saturday 28th, Walker revealed that 435 soldiers had died in just 2 days. No record of a civilian death rate was recorded, but it was reported that graveyards, gardens, and backyards were packed with bodies. Conditions were so horrendous that towards the end of July, some of the garrison wanted to surrender, and this was the cause of infighting behind the walls. The pale, emancipated victims of hunger were every day seen collecting wild vegetables and weeds and all kinds of sea wreck, which they devoured greedily, to the total ruin of their health. Market prices from Walker's Diary. Horse flesh per pound was 1 shilling and 8 pence. A quarter of a dog, fattened by eating the dead bodies of Irish soldiers, 5 shillings and 6 pence. Quarter of a dog, who wants that? Dog's head, 2 shillings. A cat, I tell you, 4 shillings and 6 pence. A rat fattened by eating human flesh, 1 shilling. And a mouse was 6 pence. A small fluke, or flounder, taken from the river, could not be bought for money, but only exchanged for meal. 1 pound of gravish. A pound of tallow was 4 shillings. A pound of salted hides, 1 shilling. Quarter of a horse blood, 1 shilling. A horse pudding, 6d. A handful of sea wrack, 6d. Handful of kickweed, 1d. A quart of meal when found was 1 shilling. Walker wrote in his diary that supplies had run so low that they had little left but to perhaps eat human flesh. He records that certain fat gentlemen convinced themselves to be in the greatest danger, and believing that several of the garrison looked upon him with greedy eyes, hid himself away for 3 days. Will I tell you something? How do you still be fat during a siege. That's a bit strange. Water was the only drink, but it was scarce and expensive. It was mixed with ginger and aniseed, of which there was a plentiful supply in the hope that it would ward off the seas. Relief came on the 20th of June. In the evening, four ships of the fleet, including HMS Dartmouth, the merchant ships Mountjoy, Dartmouth, Phoenix, and Jerusalem, with HMS Swallows longboats, made their way to Culmore Park. Mountjoy sailed up the foil and struck the broom, but it simply rebounded, and his captain, Micah Bowen, was killed by Jacobite fire. The sailors in a longboat managed to cut through the cables and chains of the boom, and later that night supplies were landed at Ship's Quay. Thus the siege, the Jacobite forces retreated on the 1st of August. The main cause of death during the siege was starvation and disease. The overall losses are hard to ascertain, but over 3,000 soldiers died within the walls, many thousands of civilians, perhaps as many as 7,000. The Jacobite losses numbered as many as 5,000, thus making the Siege of Derry the bloodiest in Irish military history. This is ironic given that one contemporary source claims that only 80 people died as a result of enemy action within the walls. Somebody's bullshitting. This is a bit of Walker's diary that you can see. And there is the outline of the siege. And with that, I'm going to go back and check the chat. Where am I? StreamYard. There. Here we go. I've never seen a war the Jacobites didn't lose. Yeah. I'm a bit there on that. I don't think so, hashtag. I think cauliflower and curry were both in short supply. Sorry, I'm just checking. Mate, whatever fucking remotely resembles something edible and floats towards the shore. Quarter dog. How about a kebab? Sorry, I'm just checking through the comments. Nothing there I need to get overly involved with. We're all good, and we'll hide the current comment. We're all good. And so that is about the siege. Now, let's see. What I'm going to the legacy of the siege. Where are we now? Going to share screen and a window. And we're going to bring this one up. This is actually a picture that was on the thumbnail. And I'm going to zoom this up. Actually, we'll take it down. I will discuss the whole thing. There we go. Nice bonfire. Got a guy on the top. We've got the Ulster banner on the top. And we've got this mural, which will depict where it is. And we'll have a look at what that says. Londonderry West Bank loyalists still under siege, no surrender. That's a wee one, mate. Because it's beside all these houses. Interestingly, in Londonderry, if you want to have a bonfire in the city and around that area, it's going to be a relatively small one because there's all houses. Blue I will Blue Beast. I'll find you a large one. I'll do this real quick. I go to Facebook. Right, hold on. Craigie Hill bonfire. One momento. Just give us a momento. Yep. That's bum 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 bum. Here we go. That one. Sure.
We gather around the fire's light, pallets high on the 11th night. Community found in shadows bright. Old stories told till morning light. From Garrett Fergus tales begun. King William's not it just begun.
Only here.
Bonfires glow like rising sun to guide the ships till battle's won. A proud tradition that we hold dear. The awesome sight does bring a tear. Build it high and they will come, dancing around until the morning sun.
Oh, yeah.
Build it high and they will come, dancing around until the morning sun. The Antrim Hills, the fires blazed. In Down's dark night, we all amazed.
Right, I'll take that one down. That is the Kerry Hill, the world record one from Antrim. So that on the 11th of July. That other one in Londonderry, that's obviously for the Relief of Derry. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Right. Oh, hashtag. See, here's the thing. See, particularly around Belfast, if you've got, we do this from where 13, 14. Oh, fuck. The problem I have in safety stopping it is who they're going to send in, because strangely, the people get a bit upset if you try to fuck with their bonfire. But yeah, security for those bonfires is the people who build it. You'll find that yeah, people got drones. That bonfire, all the bonfires in Belfast have. Yep, they did. They did try to light Tigers Bay one with drones. They're fucking. But there's somebody at these bonfires 24/7. Generally teenagers, and whenever it's coming up the bonfire time, whenever I was between like 14 and 16, coming up the bonfire, I slept at the bonfire most of the time, or well, didn't sleep. Where sat about and talked and drank, and then went home and slept on the fucking sofa, and pretended that we hadn't been awake all night. $33 Illuminati confirmed. Right, so where the hell was I? Nah. We're coming up in 50 minutes. What I'm going to look at now would be the Apprentice Boys of Derry. We're going to go and have a look at the Apprentice Boys of Derry. And when I was a kid, we used to go saffing around bonfire night. Saffing was really in other streets, food, etc. Oh, yes. There was plenty of that went on. We probably are. If there's, I'll tell you where there's no pallet shortage over here. If there's pallet shortages, we probably are to blame because we've kept them all and burnt them. Yeah, that's what we've done. Now, so we're going to have a look at the home page of the Apprentice Boys of Derry. And the Apprentice Boys of Derry as an association is a Christian, historical and cultural organisation committed to maintaining the spirit and courage and liberty displayed by the defenders of Londonderry in 1688-1689. So, interestingly, if you don't engage with your history, you're going to lose it and forget it. So it's quite important that we have organisations that look after our history and culture. In Northern Ireland, the Apprentice Boys of Derry would be one of them. I'm going to have a quick look at the about the association. The first Apprentice Boys Club was formed on the 1st of August 1714, the date of the annual commemoration that year, by Colonel John Mitchelborne, who had been the governor of the city towards the end of the siege. Although the club ceased to exist after his death, the memory of the siege was always celebrated each year in some form by informal groups right through to the 18th century. The first formal Apprentice Boys of Derry Club was formed in 1814 by Benjamin J. Darkis. Over the next 40 years or so, other clubs were founded to commemorate the siege heroes. In 1859, 6 clubs came together to become the Associated Clubs of the Apprentice Boys of Derry. So, to give you an idea of how this breaks down, so you've got 8 clubs. The original 6 clubs were the Apprentice Boys of Derry: Walker, Mitchbourne, Baker, Murray, and Williamite clubs. The Williamite club became extinct, but 3 new clubs were founded: the No Surrender, Browning, and Campsky, bringing the number of clubs to the current 8. Each of the 8 clubs is based in Londonderry, with a parent club meeting in the Apprentice Boys Memorial Hall. So if you've got a 1 second, I need to cough. Oh, fuck. Were the apprentice killers? I'm not sure what they were apprentices of. It's hard to know. My ancestors were, it lists both England and Ireland as their roots. Distinguished members of the family include Earl of Londonderry, 1565-ish. They would probably be on the good side. They would be on the right side of history, I would believe. And keep telling yourself that. Don't let anybody tell you different. Right. Hold on. Right. So there are clubs all over the place. Like, I know there's Murray clubs in Liverpool. There's Campsky clubs in England somewhere. But those clubs have got people that represent them in Londonderry, and that's how they're able to form. The General Committee, a ruling body of the association, is the General Committee. It was formed in 1862 by John Guy Ferguson, becoming the first governor member of the committee, and is drawn from the 8 parent clubs along with representatives of the amalgamated committees and senior positions within the general committees. So it's quite a... It's obviously quite a large organisation, and in a moment we're going to see if we can get a little bit of the parade today. We're going to look at the Memorial Hall. No, it's not giving us very much about the Memorial Hall. What was the other thing I wanted to look at? Boom, clubs. Yeah, I wanted to go to that. Right, no, we've done all of this, all of the useful stuff. I think what I'm going to do now is find a bit of the parade today. Yeah. Samson, what we need to do is round up a bunch of 14 and 15-year-olds and tell them to go build a bonfire. And if you're in England, do that for Guy Fawkes Night. Actually, seriously, do this. Do this. Tell the people in your local street, if you just want the bonfire, see you teenagers, you just need to go gather some wood and get a fucking burnt at the end of the street. And I'll be totally honest with you. Do you know what would be funny as fuck? It would be hilarious and also very good. See, after everything that's happened with the protests in England and how the government have spoke to everybody, wouldn't it be amazing if the English Patriots shunned the official Guy Fawkes ceremonies and the official Guy Fawkes celebrations and had their own in their street the way we used to at the end of the street, and deck the place fucking red, white, and blue for doing it? I'm pretty sure I can give you a blueprint of how to do this. We do it every year. I think that might be somewhere. Yeah, but he's the wrong type of dairy person. You cunt. Mr. Almac, what about you, Sean? Glad to have you aboard. Yes, I do need to reply to you. If you want to bounce in for a chat tonight, mate, give us a shout and I'll stick a link in the chat for you. Because you had a bit of an unfortunate thing with your gig being cancelled and all sorts of crap. There you go. There's Mr. Crane as well. What about you, Sean? Glad to have you aboard. What did I want? I wanted a... Right. A little musical intermission. Right. Here we go. And we'll show a little bit of this parade. Right. Where's that? Brad James did a bit of research on O'Neill's 16th century a couple of years back. Did you research it back as far as they were the O'Neills, whenever that O was a U? And did you go back as far as whenever they arrived? Just checking, Brad. Because I'm not sure what your bit of research means. So I'm just checking. I'm just checking on what the chats are. So that's basically what that parade looks like. And Londonderry is very small, narrow streets. It's a very old city. It's right. Now, what else did I want to talk about with regards to this? Right. So 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 all right. Just was meant he was replying to hashtag. Right. Now, so you might ask, what relevance does the Siege of Derry, a glorious reference, the what the fuck? Rags, where is? Is that how you're describing the maiden city, Rags? Shithole full of head cases. Just say what you mean. Don't worry, hashtag, you're fine. You're fine. Right. And there's Max just sent me a message. He's not coming on. That's all good. Not a problem. Just wanted to invite you, Al, because I haven't had another with you in a while anyway. I need to actually phone you and get a chat, but we'll get there. Oh, fuck. While I'm on that, my communication has been crap this week. If you sent me an email after last week's show, it has now been replied to. I normally try to get those done on a Monday. It didn't happen on Monday because I was busy and everything was late. And now I didn't get a reply off the Mac whenever I wanted to, but we'll get there. So what this brought on and what it kept was the English Bill of Rights. Bluebird, no rush or stress. All right, we're all good. Right. Whenever William took the throne, there was a deal done between Parliament and the Crown, and the deal was pretty much this: Parliament's going to deal with all the laws, and we're going to rule everything with consent. The King's going to rubber stamp it, but he's not going to have any power. And in order to, there's Plastic African in. What about you? So, in order to make sure that the King felt safe and secure with losing the power and control of the army, they married the House of Orange to the British Parliament and went, right, if you want to be our king, you have to be of this lineage, you have to be of this line, otherwise you can't be king. So no, you can't just come take us over and take the crown, because even if you win militarily, you're not going to be a king, and we just ain't going to have that. Now, with that English Bill of Rights, we have laws by consent, police by consent, and you'll hear people say that an awful lot, but I don't think a lot of people understand what that means. Now, yeah, king, as in King William III, would have been the one that we had at the time. Oh, no, I'm not calling you a king. I was talking about the king at that time. Yeah, he's got his own realm. Down here we have a king. Plastic, do me a favor. Sober the fuck up or stop typing. Do one of them two for me, please. And also be advised that taking the piss out of the monarchy does not get you to stay about this channel. Just saying. I'm a loyalist. That means loyal to the crown. And yeah, so sober up, calm down. Right. So one of the things that. Yeah, you're all right. It's all right. It's all right. Spanish. No worries. It's all good. We're calm now and we're fine. And I hope that it wasn't overly harsh because I'm trying to not go off on really bad rants. Although I was considering having a rant at the people who made me lunch today. Emma and I were out for lunch, and I got a steak, and I swear to fuck, the steak was drier than a fucking tranny's pussy. It seemed like they just stuck it in the oven, and it was cooked, but it was fucking dried and shriveled. Fucking desperate what they've done to it, but there you go. Here, Loafer, don't worry, you're fine. You're fine. Plastic, I know plastic. I know Plastic from the Dangerfield channel. I know what he's like. It's the first time he's actually been here, so it's just trying to give him better ground rules. Loafer, you've been about for a while, and all your comments have been fine. Don't worry about it. People. Fuck! Martin, is it that long? I honestly thought it was fucking. It wasn't quite as long as that. There's Brian Murphy voicing the Dangerton. Not me typing. Bluebird, we're all good. We're all good. Trial and General. Fucking right. So some of the laws that were brought in were the ability to say that which is repugnant to the government. Now, about this whole thing about being governed by consent, all that means is that the laws have went through. Sorry, Plastic, we're fine. All that means is the laws have been through Parliament, and provided the laws have went through Parliament, we're deemed to have consented to them. That's how government functions. And how they function is by they put forth policies and laws. It goes through into the Commons. They debate on it. We, the public, get a chance to. Unfortunately, Martin, that's the only one we've got. But what we tend to do is set the government off on its own and vote it in and not go near it for 4 years. And We wouldn't do that. Say if somebody's painting their fence and they were doing it all wrong, we wouldn't wait 4 years, say nothing, keep paying them, and then try to get somebody else in. So what we need to do is pay more attention to what our government's done. Yeah. I totally get you. I do totally get you, Martin. The government is a disgrace. When do we get the chance? They don't highlight it. Bluebird, stick about here because I'm going to highlight it for you. I will. It's like the consultation. It's like the consultation document that I highlighted at the top of the stream. I'm gonna find something that we can hassle the government about. Yeah. Would have been better off a Monster Raven Luna. We honestly would. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Yep. The likes of that consultation document about the more services for migrants, I'm going to be pointing them out every time that they come apart. Actually, that website is amazingly interesting. It's amazing what you'll find in the consultation document section of the government website. There was something about badgers. Yes, I know what I want for Dave Waffle House. Policy on consultation. Let me see. Whenever I fire this up. One second, I'm just looking for something here. Holy fuck. The Badger one has moved. Right, fuck it. I'm not even going to bother. I don't know what I was doing. One momento. All right. Yep. So I've done a crap job of explaining that. I'm going to need to do a 2 pence worth on or something. But there we go. But we do need to keep on top of what the government's doing and search them, because what they're doing is not fucking right. Nah. Because we'll have this bullshit that has just come up. Share screen. Share screen. Another bit of our brilliant Northern Ireland justice. This is out of the newsletter, published 9th of August. A judge in Belfast has warned those caught observing or taking part in public disorder will be refused bail, as 4 men appeared in court charged in relation to recent riots in the city. Having lived in this city all my life, I would say that we have not had riots. Any other time we've had aggravation to that level, it's been called a civil disturbance, maybe a mild inconvenience, but has not been classed as a riot because there hasn't been actual rioting. I will find you some actual rioting, but anyway. Judge Rafferty said that someone's presence, including a curious observer at disorder, involves them in such disorder as he refused 2 bail applications. This is a game changer. Before this, you could quite easily appear at a place where there was rioting going on, provided you didn't do anything wrong. You could not be charged. Now it seems that we're charging people for watching. I thought we got rid of the hue and cry laws back in the 1400s, and hue and cry were not just a pop group. They were a set of laws whereby if you seen someone stealing, and you were male and you were over 12 years old, you were obligated to make a hue and cry and call people to the scene and stop the thievery. Now it seems that they're going to try to do this with the rioting. But anyway, I will continue. Cameron Armstrong, 18 of Lewis Gardens in Belfast, was charged with rioting. The court heard on Wednesday serious disorder broke out in the Conswater area of East Belfast. It was not fucking serious. There was a couple of bins went on fire. That was about the height of it. And that the police observer was watching the disorder around Grand Parade and Bloomfield Road areas. Shortly before midnight, the observer captured footage of a man who the court was told was heavily involved. No definition of what he did. No, nothing about him throwing stones or petrol bombs or anything, but he was heavily involved apparently. Breaking off from the group, he ran from Lisburn Street onto Newton Arch Road, where he stopped at the glider stop at Hollywood Arches. A detailed description of this meal was transmitted to police. Police unit made their way to this location and observed a meal matching the description given at the glider stop, the officer added. Upon appearing to see police, he ran across the Hollywood Road towards C.S. Lewis Square. Police urged support continued to monitor the meal and observed him entering the property on Lewis Gardens. The police attended this address and knocked the door. The occupant eventually opening the door, wearing only a pair of grey tracksuit bottoms. The occupant was identified as the defendant. Clothing was seized by police, including a black North Face jacket, confirmed by Cameron as the jacket he was wearing while at Conswater, and matches the description given by our support observer to uniformed officers on the ground. This is why possibly having 2 jackets the exact same might be of use. I'm not going to say what to do, but having a spare one that's been worn might be handy. He added the police objected to bail on the basis of high-risk reoffending, risk to the public, and risk of damage to property. The United Kingdom is currently seeing a huge spike in public disorder and racial undertones, the police officer added. This has seen police attacking businesses and belonging. This has seen police attacked and businesses belonging to ethnic backgrounds being attacked and burnt. Over the past few days, Belfast has bore the brunt and experienced mass civil unrest. That was not mass civil unrest. Did you go to fucking Twiddale? Do you remember Drumcree? Do you remember Sunningdale? Do you remember the Anglo-Irish Agreement when we actually had fucking unrest? No, you don't. Businesses have been burnt out, always have been, and investigations are ongoing into that. Further unrest has, here, while you're at it, Le Mans was burnt out quite a while ago. Well, granted, it was burnt with people inside it, and those people died. and Jerry Adams was stopped by the army the night that happened, very close to it. But you're not having an inquiry in that, are you, motherfuckers? No, not a fucking chance. Because we've got a very two-tier policing system. Further unrest has continued in multiple areas within the city over multiple nights, with further disorders expected. The defendant was involved in rioting in the area of Connswater, which saw violent disorder, petrol bombs, fireworks, and different projectiles thrown at police and extensive damage caused to property. Police have received more information that more disorder is likely to happen in the coming days, and it also pertains to tonight. And given the defendant lives in Belfast, the police are fearful that if released, he will engage in further disorder. Given bail conditions, then, given conditions of not being within 100 metres of a protest, don't just take away his liberty. The only reason that the government should have, or the court should have, for keeping you on bail is if they do not believe you will turn up for court. Do you have an address? Do you need to return that address? Do you have a car? Do you have a job? Do you have things that tie you to the area? Do you have things that you need to turn up to? Do you have stuff that is so important that you cannot just run away over the case of the police have said you might have done something? Because if that's what the case is, give him bail, give him a couple of conditions, and let it go at that. Armstrong's solicitor said that his client has never come to the attention of police before, adding that while Armstrong admits he was on the periphery of the scene, he denies being involved in any disorder. The court was told that the accused left the scene when petrol bombs had been thrown. Right, so he's went, had a nosy, seen that there was bad stuff going on, thought, I don't want to be here, went away, and now the police are coming for him. And probably the reason why the police are coming for him is because they were able to identify him as leaving on his own, and he became easy to follow with their fucking heli-tally. This is convenience. Oh, and also on Crystal Night, the SAS were told to pick ones that didn't look like they were involved in trouble or dangerous. They wanted people who were more likely to go, that when arrested, to go willingly. That's the type of people that get arrested for this shit. When asked by Judge Rafferty what he was doing at the scene, the defense solicitor told the court that Armstrong had gone to have a look. The court also heard that the accused sister had spoken to him beforehand and asked him to return home and not get involved. The solicitor added that Armstrong had made a very ill thought out decision and went to see what was happening. Surely his presence at disorder involves him in disorder, the judge said. He doesn't have to throw a petrol bomb or a brick to be involved in disorder if he's present at disorder. Refusing bail, Judge Rafferty said, anyone involving themselves in this type of behaviour, this type of disorder, be an active participant or curious observer, can expect to be, save for the most exceptional circumstances, remanded into custody. Remanded into custody. That's all about him. It goes on to talk about somebody else that actually did throw a petrol bomb. I'm going to leave it there. I want to go back to the chat. I'll stop that share. So be advised, it's whenever we get stupid rulings and laws, they do get the England. We're on the best lists. Yeah, see anybody that's not on a list by now, I want to know what the fuck you're doing. I want to know what the fuck you've been doing with your time, because you ought to be on a list. Regs. Yes, the GoPro improved the sound a lot. The interesting thing is, the GoPro doesn't go through StreamYards, so I've lost some functionality and I can't put comments up on the screen, which I'm trying to find out how to do. Maybe learn that, but it also doesn't compress the shit out of the music. We are all going to jail. Yep. It'll be a happy jail. No, I don't think you can get jail for watching this yet, but it's coming. But what I will say is this: our forefathers went 105 days in a fucking siege. Our forefathers fought wars. It was our forefathers that brought the Magna Carta. It was our forefathers. I don't think it's quite on that level. It needs to go. Right, hold on. I'll tell you what not to share. Right, I'll tell you what not to share. Do not, under any circumstances, be the first person to share the date, time, location of a protest on social media. They will go back and find the person that posted that first, and they will be on the hook for that protest. Other thing, not to post anything that's about to be classed as disinformation. Do not be the first person to post it. Okay, if you're doing a repost or a share or something, you've at least got a bit of you've got a bit of here. Hold on, I'm just passing on what was already there. If you're putting new information into the world, that's where you get a problem. And I'm currently trying to launch plan FTSU on the government with their fucking bureaucracy. FTSU meaning fuck their shit up. Just to clarify my position on the government, I don't think it's good. I don't think it works in the way it's supposed to. I don't think it works in a way that it was ever intended to. I think that the government is. I think that the government has moved far enough away from the English Bill of Rights that it's not constitutional. And I think what we should do is bombard it with paperwork so that it can't fucking move or do anything. Preferably, if that paperwork is related to immigration, migrants, services for said groups, but then just run on the everything. Planning permission. Just fucking randomly say no to. Oh fuck yes. If you're not on the list, you're positively glowing. I totally agree with that. Mm. That's why I just can't do lunch with people who don't even know there are lists. I know. There's bosses. And what about you, Sean? He did. And I do not believe that the laws that Blair changed are constitutional. And I think that has a big part to do with our problem. I think had Blair not changed the laws, we would have been properly out of Europe. So there we go. Now, before we move on from all of that, does anyone have any questions Siege of Londonderry related, Apprentice Boy related, or any of that. If you have, get them into the chat. And I am going to have we're going to have a musical interlude. I think there's only one musical interlude that would be suitable for tonight, and I'm about to find that. Right, hold on. Here we go. Right, get this shared. Present, share screen, share screen. Yep, only song we could really have done tonight.
The time has scarce gone round, boys, 300 years ago, when rebels on our Derry's walls their faces dare not show, when James and all his rebel band came up to Bishop's gate, with heart and hand and sword and shield, we forced them to retreat. We'll fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls. When blood did flow in crimson streams through many a winter's night, they knew the Lord was on their side to help them win their fight. They nobly stood upon those walls, determined for to fight and gain the victory and raise the crimson high. They'll fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls. At last, with one broadside, kind heaven sent they raid. The boom that crossed the foil was broke, and James he was dismayed. The banner, boys, that floated was run aloft with joy. God bless the hands that broke the boom and saved the apprentice boys. They'll fight and don't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and hand and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls.
Right, couple of things I'm going to get into right off that. First off, yeah, that is good. Right, that's the Scottish version of the song. The Ulster version of the song is very slightly different. Right. Now the Crimson Banner that they talk about in that song. Whenever the boats were in the foil, they needed to show that they were in distress, so they got a sheet of white cloth and covered it in blood. And whenever the boats seen the Crimson Banner, well, it was blood, with their telescopes, they decided to come and break the boom. Yep. So yes, I sung the Scottish because the Ibrox, they do the Scottish version. There was something else. When's the face reveal? Nah. I did it one time, jokingly, say that I would do a face reveal whenever I reached 1,000 subs. However, it's looking like I might actually do that. And not too distant. Seriously, I'm over 8.5, heading for 9. So I will say, if anybody's new here and they've warmed in, please press a subscribe. Everybody, please press a like, and we'll get this shared out to more people. However, I'll tell you when I'm doing my face reveal, and I've picked this the day after I get my pension, because I'm way too close to being pensionable age to lose my life's work over some twat getting me on YouTube and complaining to my bosses and shit. What I will say is, we'll actually talk about anonymity. One second, I need to go. I need to get through these. Oh, there. Yes, we will indeed do more poetry, and what I will be doing is actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. 4 weeks from tonight, we're going to do a poetry stream. So, anybody that wants to come on, recite a poem, please send me an email. I'll put the address up on the screen, but it's in the description of everything. And description of every video. Yeah, fool. Right. Okay. That's the email address into the chat. Yep. 42rights at yahoo.co.uk. Anybody wants to come on and recite a poem, please email me. We'll get that organized 4 weeks today. And I will shout this out. And hopefully we'll get some people on and we'll have another night of poetry. And I think we'll do that every other month to start with. Robert, you've been about here long enough for you supporting Celtic not to be an issue, because you obviously don't do the rest of the stuff that the Celtic fans do. So don't worry, you're fine. Yes, so my face reveal will be whenever my pension is and I'm no longer at risk. On the point of anonymity, all these meetings have been with regards to men's rights. So I've met with the Department of Health and the Department of Justice about domestic abuse policies. I've met with the Housing Department about their housing policy. I've met with the police about their domestic abuse policy. I was in a Police Service Northern Ireland domestic abuse campaign video. So they all know exactly how to get a hold of 42, because yes, that was all done as 42. So as regards to officialdom, I've already put myself on the list. They know all about me. They can come and pick me out at any moment. Not too worried about the government. Yeah, I did meet Aaron Aaron was absolutely lovely. I met Aaron at ICMI 2014 in London. Also, if you know Aaron, you obviously know of a Voice for Men, Brad. I ran the Voice for Men meme team for a while. I was one of the founder members of that. I know Paul well. I'm not. I know Karen, and had I wanted to make a men's rights, make this a men's rights channel and only do men's rights stuff, it would have been really large because it got Paul, Karen, Janet Bloomfield, fucking all the Badgers, and it got Human on, it got quite a few of those people. But I don't want to be just about men's rights, so I didn't do that and then import all those people who would be not interested in the Relief of Derry or any of the other bullshit I talk about. So we've got that. Oh, I also managed to piss off the Progressive Unionist Party, which is the political party for the Ulster Volunteer Force, the UVF, the Protestant paramilitaries. The Progressive Unionist Party and Sinn Féin put a bill into Belfast City Council to get what the fuck was it? It's not Me Too, but it's about fucking Me Too. Her first or something. He for she. That's it. Yes, they had put in a bill to get he for she, a Belfast City Council fucking approved thing, and make everybody in Belfast City Council sign that pledge. And I had a meeting with the chief executive of Belfast City Council and the town lawyer and explained to them that it didn't meet Section 75 good relations and they couldn't do that. And that bill went away. So I pissed off the UVF and the IRA at the one time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Billy, did you not know that the PUP were fucking Marxist feminists? The PUP and Sinn Féin get on like a house on fire. That's just a fact of it. And Billy Hutchison, after I'd got that shelved and put it gone away, never to come back, Billy Hutchison said in a meeting in Belfast City Council that his only issue with this. Oh, yes, I have. So Billy Hutchison in Belfast City Council said the only thing about this 42 person is we don't know who he is. So I sent him an email, give him a telephone number, obviously give him an email address, told him these are the issues, and if you want to have a meeting about it. That's debatable. What he was convicted for was driving the car that somebody got out of to murder somebody. But here's the thing. Well, this is true. But preferably not people that regularly shoot people in the knees. Right? So then I asked for a meeting. One thing is, if people like that are wanting to know who you are, make sure to find out, because if they have to come and find you, that's never going to end well. Sent them the email, everything all came back. They disagree with me on a lot of things, but I'm not on the list as yet for walking with a limp anytime soon. So honestly, what I will say is, anybody that's a bit worried about filling in government forms in case people get your name, that's not where your issue's ever going to come from. Your problem is going to be whenever somebody some spiteful Karen gets a look at your face and goes, I want to get him sacked. That's where the problem is, which is why I don't make it easy to see my face on the internet. But other than that, we're all good. Oh, Brad, do you do haikus? 575 with the syllables and all that sort of stuff. I'm telling you, come on and do a couple of haikus 4 weeks' time. I'll bring you on. I'll tell you better than that. I'm not even asking what the poems are like or about or anything before it. If you want to come and bring some poetry to the stream, please do. I really want as many as you as possible to get involved. My name is 42. Oh, it's legally 42. Another thing, by the way, if you're regularly in the United Kingdom, if you're regularly known by a name for 5 years, that becomes your legal name. Oh, yes. The Progressive Unionist Party and Sinn Féin are both feminist parties. They're also both socialist parties. Probably. Sinn Féin definitely Marxist, PUP possibly Marxist, I don't know. There's a really good interview of Billy Hutchison on a podcast called the Good Listener Podcast. If you yes, you are now legally PACA. Billy, why the fuck do you think they call themselves progressive? Very few people do. You just need to look at what they do whenever they're in office. Oh, by the way, before the flag protest in 2012, the PUP's official policy on flags in Northern Ireland was they should only ever be flown with people's consent. They had to change that during the flags protest whenever they found that. Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. They are. It is what it is. Nah. We're coming up on 2 hours. Fuck, we made it 2 hours. We made it 2 hours. We did it again. Oh, the real Vincent Griffin. And real Vincent, I'm going to guess that you don't drive, you travel. Yeah? Well, yes and no. Here, Billy, here's the thing. It turns out that it seems to be pretty much like any other business or company or whatever. You know, you iron horse, a good mountain bike. It turns out that, you know, you don't really worry too much about what the top level politics is of the company you're running for. And it seems that the rank and file of the UVF allow the PUP to go off and do their political thing for them and don't pay that much attention, is my best bet. I honestly don't know. And I'm also thinking that that's as far with this subject as I really want to go. Because I'm fond of my knees. I like being able to walk. So there's all of that. Nah. I think so. So what we got next week? I know I'm doing. I'm doing a musical interlude. We're going to start the. We're going to start the outro. We're going to have a bit of harmony, melody, and rhyme. Uh, yep. Here we go. One second. I'm going to cancel this. Jim Alister's a good lad. Jim Alister is a really good man. Interestingly, the TUV were partially. The TUV got me. I had written to the Justice Minister whenever it was your man Ford. I'd sent him an email, and it was a TUV councillor that I was speaking to after that and told them that I hadn't had a response. He gave it to. He got me to forward him the email that I'd not got a response to. He then gave it to Jim Alister, who printed it out, walked up to Ford in the assembly and said, I've got a man here who has wrote you a letter about domestic abuse and the fact that you only class half the victims as victims because you're not doing anything for males, and there's all sorts of problems with it. Ford was like, no, I definitely would have replied to that. And he put it out of his pocket and went, well, actually, go ahead and reply to that, and turned his head and walked off. And that's what, and that got me a meeting with the Justice Minister and responses from him. So I think the TV are very good, hardworking politicians. There's another one you asked me, Reg, that I missed. UPB, Ulster Protestant Boys. I'm not familiar with Ulster Protestant Boys. I'm familiar with Protestant Boys flute bands, of which there are fucking lots. You see, that may be true, but I bet his words were different to mine. Because I would sing about the fields of Ballinafie, where once I watched the orange men go by on the 12th day of July with their colours flying high. Now it's lonely round the fields of Ballinafie. Right. No, they won't. The army will side with whoever orders them. Next Saturday, 10 o'clock, I would say, I'm going to do a mural tour down Newton Arch Road. I'm going down to Newton Arch Road, choose all the murals, and you will pass a spot where two Protestants were shot dead by the army because they were on the street, basically. The army will do what they're told. They do love the crown, but it's they will do as they're ordered. The only, to be totally honest with you, I think the only chance you have of getting the army on your side is if the king rocks up the parliament and says, "Yous have gone too far, and I'm taking it back." And by the way, here's my army with me to take power to sort this shit out. I think that's the only way you're probably going to get the army en masse on your side. There could be a split. I don't know. At that, it will be on to really strange times. Yes, you will like the mural triangle. Of course you can. See, here's the thing. The deal the deal that the king lost all his power and it was given to Parliament came with the Bill of Rights. Now, if the king goes, by the way, you have not, he's not going to be the king forever, but hashtag, is he? I honestly don't know. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You cannot look just because excellent, Sheila. We don't know. You'll find out what William is whenever William gets the seat. You will find out because, see, once he sits in that seat, he gets to have whatever opinion he wants. Now, he's not allowed to push it politically, but he could potentially walk in and say, this government is not functioning the way it should do under the Bill of Rights. This country is not the way it should look under the Bill of Rights, and I would advise you very quickly to fix this shit, or I'm going to fix it, is what the king could do. Now, I think it's going to take things to be a lot worse than they currently are for any king or queen to do that, but it is possible. Some loop-deep anarchist managed to get in the Buck House and had a cup of tea with the Queen until he got her away. Now, my thoughts on the English female landlady with the illegal immigrants in the shipping container full of weapons. I'll believe it when there's a court case. At the minute, I don't know if that's true, false, or whatever. Get me a court case where there's definite facts, and I'll be all over it. Until then, I don't know. Well, the last King William was a good one. Well, never knows, right? Nah, fuck me. I've just waffled for like 10 minutes. Nah, here we go. I'm going to get the outro on. And I'm only doing one now because I've waffled for 10 minutes. Video file. I'm going to play the outro and get your comments up on the screen. And I'm going to go with harmony, melody, and rhyme.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. From that grand house they tried to burn down, there's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing for all time. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before. Forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Never realized you could not kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking the 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and rhyme. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, rhyme. Never realized you cannot kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
One momento before I go. Where the hell did it go? Yes, real Vincent Griffin wants one of those armored Land Rovers. They are actually easier to buy than you think. And if you're in Belfast and you're having a night out, you can hire Army Land Rovers with a driver to be your limo for the evening. So there is that. If you want to get up close on one, that's all good. Thank you. Right, okay. Everybody, I've been 42. You lot in the chat have as always been fucking amazing. Thank you. God night. Good night. God bless. See you all next Saturday morning. Probably 10 o'clock, and we'll have a walk down Newton Arch Road and have a look at all the lovely murals. Here we go. I'm out of here. Gone. Bye bye.